Baseball stadiums are known for unusual features like odd dimensions, and heck, there used to be a hill in the middle of one of them. NFL stadiums, on the other hand, are no stranger to bizarre architecture or weird things both in and out of their stadiums. I'm sure you've seen these on TV and thought to yourself, what the heck? Well, let's explain them all. The Gillette Stadium, Bridge, and Tower. For years I've wondered why in the heck the north end zone at Gillette Stadium has a giant gap in the seating area and a weird tower that just seems out of place. And then a bridge beneath the tower? The architects gave up premium seating to create this open area and structure. So it must be important, right? Kinda. The gap serves two purposes. One, for crowd control, as it allows for a way for fans to easily exit or enter the field at parking lot level. Now for the bridge and tower, they were designed to reflect the New England area, as there are many lighthouses in the Northeast. And the bridge is built to resemble the Longfellow Bridge in Boston. In 2022, the original light tower was torn down and replaced with the tallest freestanding lighthouse in the world. Wow. Whatever ships are coming into the stadium. A larger scoreboard was then installed, and both these additions made what used to be a terrible end zone wind pattern much more tolerable. And to bring this all together, the tower and bridge are reflected in that weird logo thing on the field, which also kind of looks like a razor, you know, for Gillette. The houses at Nissan Stadium. This one is really interesting to me. Inside Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where the Titans play, the concession stands and restrooms have false house facades above them, giving it a Disney World artificial type of feel. That's kind of weird since it's Nissan Stadium and they are just fake house rooftops. They are there because in 2006, LP, or Louisiana Pacific, a building supplier, bought the naming rights to the stadium and installed the LP building zones, where they decorated areas of the arena to look like suburban homes. In 2015, Nissan bought the naming rights, but the home facade stayed, probably because they would be a pain in the ass to remove. It's still a bizarre relic from the past that will not be coming to the new stadium, which is set to open in 2027. Tarp seating and exposed beams, Northwest Stadium. When Northwest Stadium, formerly FedEx Field, was opened in 1997, it had a capacity of 91,000, the largest in the NFL at the time. Since then, it's been reduced by 29,000 butt holders to 62,000, and the remnants of an overbuilt stadium are not only quite visible, but also ugly as fuck. Around the stadium, you have the steel beams that used to hold the extra seating, and then tarps and scaffolding hide the remaining seats they couldn't get rid of, something no other NFL stadium does. Though new owner Josh Harris has made mild improvements to the stadium since taking over, it is unlikely any of this odd look will be made to be more aesthetically pleasing, as the plan is to eventually build a new stadium, probably somewhere on the border of DC, Maryland, and Virginia, so that every politician in the area gets their pocket greased. And in order to do that, it would need to be on a floating island in the middle of the Potomac. Allegiant Stadium nightclub in the end zone. Did you know in the north end zone of Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders play in Vegas, there is an entire freaking nightclub called the Wynn Field Club? Yes, they have a DJ and everything, bottle service, hottie waitresses, and probably enough hair gel to rival P. Diddy's baby oil stash. Opened in 2021, the nightclub is sponsored by the nearby Wynn Casino and offers both pre-game and post-game activities, so you can come early and stay late and party the night away in a giant empty stadium. Imagine going to a Raiders game, watching your team lose, and then getting rejected by a Vegas baddie. This is so Vegas, by the way. Acrisure Stadium offset people ramps. In the south end zone of Acrisure Stadium, where the Steelers play, you have these symmetrical round towers that allow for fans to exit the upper deck in a safe and orderly manner, if not dizzying. But on the north side of the stadium, it's not as pretty, as one of the people ramps is positioned at an angle that is usually found at stadiums with more room. However, the opposing down ramp had to be placed at a sharp angle and tucked underneath the stadium, as it is impeded by the North Shore Connector rail system, making the stadium look truncated and asymmetrical. It's not a huge deal, but some people like things to be perfect, and this is probably bothersome to you. I'm people. I like things to be perfect. Paycor Stadium, seating gap, and huge escalator. Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati has always been interesting to me. You can see from the overhead shot that the stadium keeps a congruent line in a spiral pattern. However, there are several large gaps that allow for crowd access from entry level. And also because of the proximity to the Ohio River, it creates very unusually shaped and cramped parking lots. The weirdest feature is this floating escalator from the upper deck, which looks odd as it just hangs out in the open. I see why it's there, but unlike a lot of stadiums, Paycor does not have large down ramps that make leaving or entering easy, so it creates a choke point in the upper deck. To be clear, they do have ramps, just not big ones. Another interesting fact, there's actually a companion escalator on the other side, which dumps down into either the lower seating bowl or a stadium exit. It's just not as prominent because it's hidden behind the scoreboard. It's peculiar that they chose an escalator when it really doesn't help accessibility, but in the great words of Mitch Hedberg, an escalator can never break. It can only become stairs. Covered area outside Everbank Stadium. Everbank Stadium, aka Duval, has a very practical layout. It's your standard smart NFL stadium, which is set to undergo a massive remodel. But what is this strange looking area at the south entrance? It's actually a separate amphitheater called Daly's Place, which is a smaller concert venue, and it's indoors and away from the outrageous humid Florida heat. Well, it's semi-indoors. The stadium's light towers and scoreboard structure use the same exposed steel beam aesthetic as the roof of Daly's Place, but it was interesting that they chose to continue the theme for the amphitheater. This curved roof section is the actual theater with an indoor space behind it. That's where they host AEW matches, something the Cons actually care about. Oddly shaped scoreboards, Huntington Bank Field. Where the Browns play. I'm just gonna call it Cleveland Stadium because y'all keep changing the fucking name. They have two huge, oddly shaped scoreboards in both end zones. These were installed in 2014 as massive upgrades to the stadium, but they are shaped differently. Couldn't just go with a rectangle. In Kansas City, they have oval scoreboards, but those are intentionally round and not too crazy. So I searched the interwebs as to why these are this way, and I found that they are shaped as giant C's. Like the letter C for Cleveland, or for what fans would call their owner, a giant C. I mean, that's not what I saw at first, but now it kind of makes sense. Like cutting Deshaun Watson just to save face obvious. And finally, my favorite weird/odd NFL stadium feature, the miniature Mile High Club at Empower Field. Inside the parking lot at Empower Field in Denver is a 1/8 scale mini monument to the old Mile High Stadium with a 40-foot long field and miniature stands. Brandon Perna would look like a normal sized player here. Yo, Brandon's catching strays and not even here to defend himself. The replica features a scoreboard, a mini ticket booth, and mini light towers. It also looks like a pretty cool spot to tailgate and relive your glory days from Polk High. It's like pickleball, but for football. Hopefully mini football doesn't catch on and take over football like pickleball did tennis. Yo, either play ping pong or play tennis. Pickleball's weak, yo. I'm probably gonna start playing pickleball soon. Still, this is a unique feature and adds to the quirkiness of the stadium. Well, there you have it. Weird features of NFL stadiums. Please subscribe for more football videos. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.